that deep standing water. As somebody pointed out, Type 1 cars, yeah, those probably would have whacked out anyway, but Type 1 cars, of course, they're high, would have made it not. But anyway, let's get to what's happening. First of all, a big shout out and thank you to Al Margulies, one of my friends. The rantings of a former driver for Trimet. That's him. He's on my friends list. Check him out. He's got a lot of good stuff when it comes to Trimet. Got the audio of the dispatch of the controller, not dispatch, control. Telling him to go ahead with a standing water order to drive the train through that. Now, immediately, of course, Mary Kvetch and McFartbrain, the GM, came out. No, an error was made, but not us. No. You know, they're those wavy things, you know. As I responded to David, my friend David Christensen, you know, the old military saying is that shit rolls downhill, and it has to originate somewhere. Now, I'm quite sure that in the water emergency and flooding emergency that we had this past week, that top management was in communication with everybody, as is the normal standard operating procedure, and somebody is in charge directly on the weekend, that they were in a contact and told them to roll them. Now, I wrote jokingly, my bus is on fire, and dispatch responding, well, can you make it to the end of the line? But I'm quite sure that Monica remembers when a bus went on fire on I-5. Now, keep them rolling. Can you make it? Can you get through? Can you get to the end? I mean, I lost the transmission. They're telling me to drive in the hills over Burnside. So, what would I have done had I been that operator? Very simple. I'm not driving this train through there. It's a matter of safety. I have no idea what's under the water. Same thing as road. You don't drive your bus through a huge monster standing water when you don't know if you've got a sinkhole there or not. And I remember when I was on the extra board being called to go along with another marvelous driver, take two buses and go down to the Lloyd stop, stand there, blah, 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 because a sinkhole was developing. A sinkhole was developing that would have affected not only Trimet's tracks, but also the railroad's tracks. You think I'm going to drive a train through there because you're telling me it's cool and that all the safety crap is going to work? No, I'm not going to do that. Now, I'm not refusing to do my work. It's a matter of safety. And let's get a time mark on that on the radio, please. At what time is this being taped? Thank you very much. I would like a supervisor here to take over my training. I cannot do this work safely. End of the story. But everybody feels like they're going to get fucked at Trimet and have retaliation against them from Trimet, so they go ahead and do it. But to take a 109-ton vehicle through deep standing water on tracks and not knowing what was underneath that water, whoever gave that order is stupid and should be removed. And yes, I saw some more calls around the Twitterverse and the Facebookverse and all of that of saying, you know, hey, it was a dangerous thing. I'm quite sure everybody is there by now. But keep it rolling. That's what it's about. And, you know, for my friends who have been station agents, sometimes, you know, you go ahead and you do things that aren't by the book, and then they get grieved and taken care of after. It's like committing a penalty in the NFL. Yeah, I know it's illegal to spear the motherfucker, but I did it anyway. It's only going to cost 15 yards, but he's out of the game. Okay, cool. So, it's out. I posted it up on my site, on Facebook. on Google, on Twitter, control towing a standing water order of 10 miles an hour, which to me is too fast. 5 is pushing it. 5 is pushing it. And as I remember on road where you had to slow, if there was standing water, we had to slow to 5 miles an hour. So 10 miles an hour to me is too fast in an emergency situation to try to stop in water this huge vehicle. The people on the train, they were real cool. But another thing that's been going around is the call for an oversight committee for Trimet. And that is something that has to be done, because they keep on getting away with not being able to plan. We live in a wet environment. It's going to flood here and there. That is the geography of where we live. But the blatant lying by Mary Kvetch, Trimet's spin doctor, who has managed to bullshit a great career for many years, and the very obvious sycophantic rantings of that marvelous mudbrain of muck, McFarlane, and his statement, and you can see that at, Oregon Live and KTU and all those, just, hit McFarlane Trimet in the search and it'll bring up all the latest. But, McFarlane, you knew about it. Bob Nelson, you knew about it. Shelley Lomax, you knew about it. And I don't know who the new other people are, and I couldn't care less about them. But you knew about it. Y'all all are in the loop. Anybody who has been in a supervisory position, anybody who has ever worked the extra board during emergencies, knows the shit that goes down. So, whoever gave that order, they should be severely reprimanded for it, let alone removed from a position of public safety, which is why I say that people at the top should be tested for substance abuse, just like the people who operate the system. But that's a whole other matter. Well, my friends, be well. Have a marvelous rest of the week. Enjoy this great sunshine that we're having as we dry out until the next deluge comes. Take care. Be careful.